Wow. Okay, so Andesite Island is actually an island. I hadn't even realized. It kind of makes me wish I'd built my house on the island and then secured the whole island and then been surrounded by water and not have a land connection with whatever's happening right there. Interesting, though. Interesting. And you can definitely see the color layout of brown, green, blue, and... I mean, that's white, but the rest of that property's purple, so I don't know. That's weird. The roads leading up to that hill, I've been up here for a while now. I was hoping that maybe if I just flew around... Oh, howdy, folks! Welcome back to Tekkit 2. I was hoping that if I just flew around up here for a while, eventually we would see someone, something, anything at all. But no. So far, nothing. So I don't know what that's all about. Oh well. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Nothing new has been built in the last day or so. So I don't know, maybe if I just stay on, nothing happens. It might happen. Maybe it's one of those situations where when you log in and it's generating terrain, well, I guess regenerate. It's not like it's recreating the terrain, but maybe there's a check and it's like, oh, I'll add a new building here. So maybe it's not being built while I'm offline because that doesn't make any sense. But, oh shoot, I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about solar. We haven't had a reason to build any new types of solar energy, owing to the fact that we have a nuclear power plant in the basement. But I thought it might be fun to get back into it today and build some some solar energy. Last time around, we built the low voltage solar panel, which is pretty cool, 8 EU per tick. But if we built a medium one, that would be 64 EU per tick. And then if we built the high voltage one, that'd be 512 EU per tick. Now, I think I made high voltage solar panels in Tekkit Classic. It's been so long ago I don't remember. As you can imagine, it's a bit of a long, tedious process, owing to the fact that it requires you to make... 512? Wait, you have to make 512 solar panels? I think you do. Yeah, because it's 8 for this, and then it's 8 of these for this, so it's 64. Oh my gosh, that's nuts. I kind of want to do it, though. That means creating 1,024 electronic circuits. So we got to keep in mind we already have a low voltage solar panel that we can use as part of this recipe, sitting right there. So, okay, let me do some math. If we already have that one, oh gosh, maybe we don't even consider it. It'll be easier if we don't even take that into consideration. Each one of these requires 6 of these, so that's going to be 6,144 copper cables. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do here, folks. I'm opening up YouTube on my iPad. I'm gonna turn on an episode of, I don't know, Best of the Worst, probably one that I've seen a dozen times, and I'm gonna just get to work. Did you know that an extractor will give you 3 diamonds per diamond ore? Now that does require that we have some sort of silk touch to get that. Same with the coal and the, I mean, but still, that's pretty impressive. And also, with an extractor, we can get 3 rubber per sticky resin, which is not bad either. What I'm saying is, let's go ahead and build an extractor for this. You might say it's a waste of time to do this, considering we have near infinite EMC that we can pull from, which is the reason that I will not be shutting down the thing in the basement currently. There we go. So I think that's everything that we need to build the basic extractor. Oh, we actually need 1 more tree tap. But the reason I won't be shutting down the blaze rod system in the basement is because even if we're not going to immediately collect and harvest all of that EMC, I like the fact that it's there. So when we decide to do a thing, we can definitely get it done. So this is less about needing this in order to build this, and more about it's kind of funny, isn't it? As I was saying, though, it's less about needing the extractor because we're pressed for resources and this is going to make things more efficient, and more so, for me at least, the concept's just kind of funny. We don't need this. Let's build one anyway. We're actually going to go all the way and build the centrifugal one, which is, of course, just faster. No, we're not, because we don't have an electrolyzer. And that's pushing the limits of what I think is funny. Or, I don't know, man. I like a good joke. Let's do it. What does it take to build the next one? A bunch of LV transformers. Gosh, these recipes are weird and inconsistent. This is already starting to feel like something that could take up the time of a complete full episode, not a mini episode. But then again, the rules there are kind of loosey-goosey anyway. Obviously, we're going to need to plug this into an MFE. Please note that we don't actually have to plug this into an MFE. There is absolutely nothing that necessitates an MFE. I just am strange and like putting MFEs on all of my machines. So we have our glass fiber cables, and then on top of those, we will throw down our newly minted and highest of qualities MFE. We do not need to worry about this machine blowing up because it is an upgraded version and is ready for medium voltage out the gate. So we'll plug it in directly. And then we will throw this down. Disguise it. Perfect. And there is our charged electrolyzer. Now, in order to build our centrifugal... I don't know why I'm having trouble with the word centrifugal extractor. We will need 7 electrolyzed water cells. 7 of them, not all 48. That would be ridiculous. So we will drop those in there. Maybe this one requires a lever to be turned on, right? I mean, I know some of these require a lever to keep themselves spooled up. No. Well, of course not, because it's not even plugged in properly. Pretty sure it was nighttime when we started this, now it's daytime. I'm reading from the wiki, and it's not really making it super abundantly clear, but I think the issue is that this thing has to be hooked up directly to the storage device in question. So we're going to plug our MFE. It says that it can't take power from wires. Shoot. Okay, we're probably going to have to disassemble this entire stinking thing. There we go. Rotate it upwards. And also, apparently, it can't interact with anything nearby. Like, it can't input or output from storage. So, now that I think about it, in order to save space, we might as well go ahead and move it over 1 block and place it directly here next to this chest that it can't interact with anyway. So, we want to go. We've got our wire, our MFE, and then our electrolyzer. And then we want to put that in there. And it says that this has to be at least 70% full before this will do anything. So maybe we just give it a minute. Okay, this got to about 70%, and then this came on, and it's maybe starting the electrolyzing process. I think we needed 7 of these, though. Is that right? 6, 7, yeah. Alright, well, we'll leave that to do its thing, then. In the meantime, we'll build another one of these in the meantime. Ebba-debba-dees in the meantime. This song sucks, I'm gonna stop. While we wait on that to get finished, which is probably going to take a while, we'll go ahead and extend this out and have it ready for a... well, we're gonna need to build another MFE. Really pushing the limits of what a mini-episode can be. Curious to see whether or not when it finishes one, it immediately pulls all that power out of the MFA? No. Okay. My reading of this may be off, but I think that the wiki is trying to communicate to me that if we attach multiple MFEs to it, so let's say we put, or maybe even MFSUs, and we put them all around it, it would draw power from all of them simultaneously to get the job done faster. Again, that might be me reading it incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure that the idea is that each one of these is a power point. We could hook up a bunch of MFEs and do the job more quickly, but I'm not too pressed about it right now. For the sake of testing, though, I mean, we'll go ahead and get a second one, because we were building it anyway. And we'll plug it in. Boy, we need to build some teleporters around here. That should be our next thing that we do. Right, so both of these are now full. And I'm not seeing a real quick increase, but it might be one of those situations where if we had 4 of them plugged in, it does look like it's going a bit faster. That might be the case. If we have a bunch of them plugged in, it'll be noticeably faster. Well, I will leave this one plugged in, because it does look like it's going a bit quicker. And we will move it when it's done. While we wait on that, we might as well go ahead and start working on some of the other components we're going to need. We're going to need a lot of coal dust. And we're good. Generators, though, we need a lot of re-batteries. 512 of them, in fact. Apparently, I've made the advancement super tree tap, but I don't really know what I did to make that advancement. Was it for building the extractor? Because I did that a long time ago. So the battery is going to require 8, 16 stacks of redstone. There are our 7 electrolyzed water cells, and that means that you have done your job here for now, sir. Thank you. Reposition it right there, and it will be waiting for the completed centrifugal extractor extraordinaire. Awesomeness. Fun times. Have a stack of sticky resin. Now, presumably, because this thing is so fast at 100%, because we're going to get 3 for every 1 sticky resin, that means, theoretically, it could be going 3 times faster than cooking these up in the electric furnace, because it can only do 1 at a time. So even if they process them at the same amount of time, this will still have triple the output, which is pretty useful. Obviously, we will need both an import and an export upgrade for this machine, so we can have it automated, and obviously we're going to want to upgrade those to the better versions if we can. There we go, full-sized import and export upgrade. Let's get some proper chests to use. Export to the south. Import from the north. That should be correct. So we'll configure those, and yeah, alright. So while I continue to make 512 batteries, we'll have this thing going in the background. It's still speeding up, though. It's not hit max speed, but we should be good to go soon with rubber. Exciting stuff. So to give you an idea of how many batteries we need, they only stack to 16, but we need them to be 16 here, 16 across, completely filled. Yikes. The extractor is already an invaluable resource. I cannot imagine doing this build without it. 4, I think I just made exactly the right amount, or 2 too many. But there we go. So that's 16 times 4 times 8, 512, and that's not even to make a solar panel. That is to make a generator. Now we have to make 512 machine blocks and 512 furnaces. So for furnaces, that'll be easy to make. And something easy to remember is that 512 divided by 64 is 8, meaning that we need 8 stacks of furnace. Drop those in there. And then that's where all of this comes in handy, creating all of those machine blocks. We're going to need a lot more than that, actually. We might actually need to have some more of this going, because we're going through it really quick, and we're not even completely halfway there. And here I thought having a chest full of this stuff was silly and ridiculous and unnecessary. But I was wrong! My gosh, at least the induction furnace is stupidly fast. Doing 2 at a time! Madness. And that is what all of the ingredients for 512 generators looks like. Can't fit it all in my inventory in one go, so we're gonna have to do this in, like, multiple passes. But let's see here. Generator. 64, 128, 256... 512 generators. Ridiculous. Hooking up 512 generators by itself would produce so much more power than this solar panel we're trying to make. 20, 21, 22, 23, and then we actually need 24 stacks of glass, 24 stacks of coal dust, 16 stacks of electronic circuits. Yee. When I'm done with this, I'm going to do the math for exactly how many raw materials you need for this. Or I won't, and I'll just say lol on the screen. Or I'll find where someone else has already done the work, and I'll copy that. I'll do one of those things, and I will let you folks know exactly what kind of nonsense was involved in the construction of this ridiculous solar panel. And with that, I think we finally have everything we need to create the solar panels. We're gonna have to do these in batches. Unsurprisingly, there will be things that we run out of as we go. What did we run out of in that kit? Glass. We ran out of glass. So many electronic circuits. It would be such a bummer if after doing this, we immediately accidentally in some way destroyed it. I would hate that. That would make me so sad. What we need is someone who provides insurance for these sorts of things. So in the event that we do that, there's someone out there. Maybe we give them a few gold bars every so often, and then they come back and they're like, ah, yes, 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 I see. On record, you did own one of these, and it was destroyed in the lightning strike of '89. We'll get you another one from the basement. You know, something along those lines, like an Apple Care almost, but for solar panels. Something along those lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stacks. 8 times 6,500. Yep, that's what we needed. That's what we needed. We did it. There's all of our solar panels. Now we need to get them into low voltage solar panel, which means we need 8 LV transformers. Really, from this point forward, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's not easy mode ahead, but it should be slightly smoother sailing. A lot of the more complicated stuff is done, and it's just a matter of putting it all together with these little bits. 8 LV transformers, and the solar panels. Oh wait, we need a lot more than 8. 8 is enough to build the medium voltage. We need 8. 8 times 8. That is to say we need 64 of the darn things. Well, not anymore we don't. We need 56 of them. Because we already did... Well, yeah. Okay. There we go. 64 low-voltage solar panels. Now we need gold cable and a lot of rubber, as well as more refined iron. And if you're wondering why we're getting refined iron out of there, it's because we actually used all of our refined iron. Nutty as that might seem. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think it's 8 we're going to need medium voltage transformers. We have way too much. I got too much stuff, arguably. There's way too much stuff in my inventory right now for this. Those and these. 8 medium voltage. 8 medium voltage solar panels. And then we want to go to high voltage, which means we're going to need... Oh, boy! Oh, no. Oh, I didn't take this into consideration. Alright, so that's not too undoable. We can do that. We might be able to do that. What about some of these other things, though? What goes into... I mean, first off, wait, why do we need an IV transformer to create a high-voltage solar panel? Why, that requires an EV transformer. That's actually manageable. Plasma cable? Magnets? Oh my gosh! Okay, alright, so that's something we could do. We could build a rare earth extractor, and we could get rare earth from it somehow, and turn it into rare earth chunks, and turn that into a dead magnet, and then put electricity into it, and then build a plasma core, and then... What would we need that for? And then we'd still have to build plasma cables, which means more plasma cores. And then iridium stones is a doable thing as well. Nothing's stopping us from doing this. It just seems like a lot. Now, let me run your mind past this. The hybrid solar panel. It requires an advanced solar panel, which means I would have to build more low-voltage solar panels. Which means I'd need to build more regular solar panels. And then I would need to get an enriched scenario. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Or I could build an MFE. I could connect that up to 8 separate solar panels. And for now, that's good enough to keep us alive on the moon. I've said too much! Yeah, look, not to spoil episode 10, but we might have grand ambitions skyward. My plan was to record that over the weekend, but with the loss of my cat and some other things that happened over the weekend, I didn't really have time, which is why you're watching this instead. But I did want to get at least a medium voltage solar panel for the moon, and now we have 8 of them. And the options are still open to us in the future to build high voltage solar panels or hybrid. So we will do that in the future. Don't think that we won't. Look forward to that in a future episode. But for right now, I wanted to say that we're done with these episodes because I cannot imagine fitting in another one of these. I mean, what are we going to do? Reasonably speaking, what are we going to do? Episode 9.10? I mean, it's getting silly. We need to do episode 10. So, episode 10 was supposed to be recorded over the entirety of Saturday, and that didn't work out for the reasons previously mentioned. I'm going to record it, I guess, in segments and put it all together. That will mean that for the next couple of days, there might not be an episode of Tekkit 2, as I try to put that together and make it as amazing as I imagine it being. I would ask you to just be patient with me. It'll be out in the future. I don't want to do any more of these mini-sodes. I'm going to buckle down and do the thing that I was trying to avoid with the mini-episodes. I was trying to avoid having a long stretch of time without an episode. But it looks like that's what's going to happen anyway. But hopefully you folks have enjoyed these 9 mini-episodes. Gotten some level of enjoyment out of them. Episode 10 will be a starbound, theatrical, amazing affair. And hope you folks will be looking forward to it. And there'll probably be a couple of days between every episode moving forward, because I want each episode to be kind of big and have something big happen, you know? And I want to focus on big projects in a proper episode. So be looking forward to that. If you want to watch stuff in between, as I've said before, I think at 9.1, I have an older Minecraft series that's not finished yet. I'm re-releasing the old episodes on this channel, so that once we're caught up, I think episode 39 will be the last one that I made. Then when we get to episode 40, it'll be new, and I'll be moving to wrap up that series. I also have a new series being released on this channel. That is the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 series. I got a lot of footage of that. I'm still editing those together, so consider giving those a watch. The Xenoblade Chronicles X playthrough is really fun. There's other things to watch, but Tekkit 2 Episode 10 will be soon. Until then, thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I will see you later. Goodbye!